This is the impure gold puck from part 1. It weighs 59.3 grams. We've recorded that here. I'm going to multiply it by 0.95. I've got 56.3 grams of pure gold in that puck. So we take 56.3, multiply it by 3, and that will give us an alloy that's going to be 1 part pure gold, 3 parts sterling silver. Here's the little button of silver that's got some karat gold alloyed in with it that we recovered in part 1 with the silver chloride. We're going to add this in, and we're going to add this sterling silver in. 166.2 grams of sterling. We're going to add that to this impure gold and then quart this gold and then pull everything back out with nitric acid. Here we go. Here's our inquarted gold. Looks pretty good down at the bottom of the beaker here. And what we'll do now that we've got that additional sterling in there is I'll add some dilute nitric acid from a previous refining. I'll just add small doses of this nitric acid to the inquarted gold. And then once we pull all the silver and base metals out of here with each nitric acid boil, I'll add it back here to my silver jar and accumulate the solution that's coming off of here because it's going to be full of silver. So I'm going to put this on time lapse. I'm going to start that right now. Here I'm using hot dilute nitric acid to pull the silver and base metals out of the encorded gold. The nitric acid won't touch the gold. The gold will get left behind in the beaker. This is looking real good. It only took a couple of nitric acid boils here, and I've got the solution nearly colorless right now. Still got a little tint of blue. That gold looks real good. I didn't have a lot of solids in that golden puck that we started with, and so what I'm thinking maybe we could possibly try to get away with this refining, because we started out with a piece of metal that was relatively pure without a bunch of solids in it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to give this another nitric boil. One more. And then we'll come back, take a look at this, and maybe we can go ahead and melt it up just like it is, because that gold in there right now, after those nitric boils, after we encorded the silver, that gold in there is very close to being high purity, 3/9 fine, almost. I've been boiling in nitric now for maybe a half hour, I guess. And what we'll do is pour this nitric boil off. That looks excellent. Pour the nitric boil off in here. Sometimes I save this nitric for a future refining, but we're just going to pour it off into our silver jar. Now what I'll do is add some distilled water and give this a quick boil in some distilled water. While I'm waiting for the gold to boil in some water, what I'm going to do here is prepare some ferrous sulfate. And to do that, what we need to do is put our beaker on the scale, tear it to 0. I've got some ferrous sulfate. What we'll do is measure out 400 grams of ferrous sulfate now. Now let's move our ferrous sulfate up onto this heat source over here, and we'll add some distilled water. Give this a stir. Get this thing started. Let's pull our gold down off the burner over here. It's looking superior, man. Looks really good. Just gonna set this down out of the way for right now. We're gonna take our ferrous sulfate, back here and get it out of the way. I'm going to add about 300 milliliters, or maybe up to the 350 milliliter level with hydrochloric acid. Here we go. And this will precipitate out any lead that may be present. It's about 1 milliliter of sulfuric acid going in. Now let's take our beaker with our gold in it. We're going to set it up over here on the heating pad. And what I'll do is I'll start adding small doses of nitric acid. We're going to put this gold in solution. We're going to put it on time lapse. We dissolved all the gold using about 350 milliliters of hydrochloric acid and about 30 milliliters of nitric acid. And I boiled this down, and as you can see, there's no fumes in the beaker now. So what we'll do, there's still a few little pieces left down in there, and what I think that is some gemstones or some other trash that we picked up from the melt dish. So we're going to pull this down now and let this cool off for a minute. Got the solution chilled real well, and I don't see a whole lot of cloudiness in there. So now what we're going to do is filter our solution. After pouring it through the filter the first time, it was cloudy, so I poured it back through the same filter a second time, and it was still cloudy. So I poured it back through the same filter a third time, and that finally cleaned it up. And then my ferrous sulfate solution was also cloudy, so I refiltered that as well. I had to pull the solution through the filter 3 times, and I finally got it to where it's nice, clear and bright. Everything's been filtered out. Here's what the filter looks like back here. That's what we got in the filter. So there was some junk in there, a little bit of junk. And I had to refilter the ferrous sulfate solution. For some reason, it was cloudy. We got that cleared up now. So what we're going to do is get down here real close and use ferrous sulfate to precipitate out the pure gold. Here we go. I'm just going to pour this right on in. We're going to precipitate out our pure gold. Let's reach in here and get a little bit of this solution on a piece of filter paper. Test it with some stannous. And you can see we still got a little bit of gold in solution. Add a little bit more ferrous sulfate. See if we can get the rest of this gold to precipitate. Let's get another Stannis test. See if we got all this gold to come down. And there you can tell by that negative Stannis test, all the gold has been precipitated. Now we're going to pour the waste solution off of here. Here's the rinsed gold so far. It actually looks red. Very strange looking. Now what we're going to do, add some hydrochloric acid. Put it up on the heat and boil it in a little hydrochloric acid for a few minutes. Look at that, it's yellow. See that yellow? Let's go ahead and dump that off. That's the, that is the ferrous sulfate coming off of there. Right, now we'll go ahead and add some hydrochloric acid. Put it up on some heat. Give it a boil. Pour this off now into a waste beaker. Still have a little bit of color. So let's do another hydrochloric acid boil. Second boil's been going for a few minutes now. Let's get this. Oh yeah, look at that gold, man. That's looking real good. Do is rinse it off with some hot water. Here's our gold. I think we've got it cleaned up pretty good now. We'll try to get this in a melt dish and melt this up an ingot. All right, the original estimate was for 57.9 grams from our Karat scrap, and then we revised that after we went through the process in part 1 of the video, and we're estimating 56.3 grams for this bar. Let's see what we actually got here. Holy cow, it's dead on. That very rarely ever happens, but we'll take it. 56.3 grams. The bar came out absolutely gorgeous. Look at that thing, man. It is just super, super clean looking. You can tell a lot about the purity of the gold when you melt it and pour it. So, okay, this will conclude the video. We'd like to thank everybody for watching.